Most people believe socializing makes them happy. More friends, more conversations, more interaction. They think this builds a better life. But Schopenhauer believed the opposite. He believed that the more you surround yourself with people, the more your mind slowly fills with noise, pressure, and invisible influence. And the disturbing part is, most people never notice when they stop thinking for themselves, because socializing does not destroy your mind in one day. It destroys it slowly, silently, and almost beautifully. The hidden mental cost of socializing. Every day you talk to people, friends, colleagues, family, strangers. Small conversations, random discussions, pointless arguments, and none of it feels dangerous, but your mind is absorbing everything. This is the hidden psychological reality. Human brains copy what they see. They absorb emotions, they absorb opinions, they absorb behavior. Even when you think you are just listening, you are being influenced, slowly. Schopenhauer warned about this centuries ago. He believed that most social interaction is shallow and mentally exhausting because people do not think deeply. They repeat what society tells them. They repeat trends. They repeat opinions. They repeat opinions. They repeat fear. And when you spend too much time around shallow thinking, your mind begins to adapt to it without permission. Imagine sitting in a group conversation, 5 or 6 people talking, laughing loudly, arguing over random topics, discussing things that do not matter. After 1 hour, you feel mentally tired. Not physically tired, mentally tired, like your brain has been overloaded. Nothing useful was discussed, nothing valuable was learned, but your energy is gone. This is not normal tiredness. This is social mental fatigue, and most people experience it every day without understanding why. Because social environments transfer emotions and stress. This is called emotional contagion. You absorb the mood of the room, the pressure, the tension, the noise, and slowly your mind becomes crowded with other people's thoughts, crowded with other people's tunes, crowded with other people's opinions, crowded with other people's energy. And when your mind is crowded, you stop hearing your own voice. Why society fears solitude. Here is something strange. Most people are afraid of being alone. Silence makes them uncomfortable. They open their phone. They call someone. They scroll social media. They turn on music. Anything to escape silence. But why? Why is silence so uncomfortable? Schopenhauer had a simple answer. Because silence forces you to face yourself, and most people are not ready for that. Society trains people to stay busy and social, because a quiet mind starts asking dangerous questions. Who am I? What do I really want? Why am I living like this? Am I happy or just distracted? These questions break illusions, and society does not like broken illusions. So people run toward noise, toward crowds, toward endless conversations, because noise protects them from truth. People do not socialize only to connect. They socialize to escape themselves, to escape loneliness, to escape insecurity, to escape their thoughts. Social interaction becomes a psychological shield, a distraction from reality. This is why many people cannot sit alone for even 10 minutes. Their mind becomes restless, uncomfortable, anxious, because silence removes distractions and reveals truth. If you believe silence is more peaceful than crowds, comment, I choose silence over noise. Social environments secretly program your mind. Now here comes the disturbing truth. You think you control your opinions. You think your beliefs are yours. You think your mindset is independent. But most of it is shaped by your environment. Friends shape you. Workplace shapes you. Society shapes you. Media shapes you. And slowly, you become a reflection of the people around you. This is called social conditioning. The more time you spend around certain ideas, the more normal they feel. The more normal they feel, the more you accept them. And once you accept them, they become your beliefs, even if they were never your own. Schopenhauer called this herd mentality, the tendency of humans to follow the crowd, to think like the crowd, to behave like the crowd, because standing alone requires strength, and most people prefer comfort over truth. Look at social media, trends, opinions, viral ideas, millions of people repeating the same thoughts, the same jokes, the same beliefs, the same reactions. It looks like individuality, but it is not. It is mass programming, and the more you socialize in these environments, the more your identity becomes shaped by them, without realizing it. But what Schopenhauer said about crowds is even more disturbing. He believed that intelligence and crowds rarely coexist, because crowds reward conformity, not deep thinking, and this changes everything. Intelligent minds naturally withdraw. Here is something you may have noticed. Intelligent people often enjoy solitude. They do not hate people. They simply prefer silence. They prefer calm environments. They prefer deep conversations over loud gatherings. This is not arrogance. This is not arrogance. This is mental protection. Because deep thinking requires silence. Creativity requires silence. Self-awareness requires silence. Schopenhauer believed that intellectual people naturally withdraw from social noise, not because they're antisocial, but because they understand something others do not. Crowds reduce clarity. Noise weakens thinking. Constant interaction drains intelligence, and silence restores it. Imagine spending an evening alone. No phone, no noise, no conversation. Just a quiet room, maybe reading, maybe thinking, maybe walking slowly. At first it feels strange, but after some time, your mind becomes calm, your thoughts become clear, ideas start appearing, you feel peaceful, focused, present. This is the power of solitude, not loneliness, mental clarity. And once you experience this, crowds feel different, loud, heavy, draining. Because now you understand the difference. Controlled socializing is psychological power. This does not mean you should avoid people completely. Schopenhauer did not say to isolate yourself forever. He believed in selective interaction, controlled socializing, intentional communication. Because true power is not isolation. True power is control. Control over your environment, control over your time, control over your time, control over your mental energy. Strong minds do not talk too much. They observe, they listen, they choose carefully who enters their mental space. They avoid unnecessary conversations. They avoid shallow environments. They avoid mental noise. And because of this, their mind stays clear, sharp, focused, independent. This is psychological dominance, not over people, but over influence, over noise, over distraction. The truth is simple. Socializing is not always dangerous, but unconscious socializing is. When you surround yourself with noise, you lose clarity. When you surround yourself with shallow thinking, you lose depth. When you surround yourself with crowds, you lose individuality. But when you control your social environment, you protect your mind, you protect your peace, you protect your identity, and slowly you become mentally free. If you believe your mind is your most valuable asset, comment, "My mind is my territory." If you are building a calm, independent, and powerful mind, subscribe to Ilu Codex, because this channel is for people who think deeply, question society, and protect their mental freedom. Schopenhauer once believed that most people fear solitude because they fear their own thoughts. And maybe he was right. Because in silence, you meet yourself. In solitude, you understand yourself. And in independence, you protect your mind from the noise of the world. So the next time you feel mentally tired after socializing, ask yourself one question: am I connecting with people, or slowly losing myself in the crowd? And the answer might change the way you live forever.